After deciding it would be too much work to patch my tire, I thought I would go back and check for a new one from a tire store in Green River or Moab, see if I could make it back for the evening. Neither city carried the tire I needed, so I decided to check out the small sites around Moab that I just usually bypass on my way elsewhere. First, I stopped just outside of Moab to see the courthouse washed pictographs. Technically in Arches National Park, they were painted in the late Archaic period of the local desert peoples who occupied the area 15,000 to 4,000 years ago. In 1980, vandals scrubbed the ancient paint off with wire brushes and turpentine. Extensive recovery was done to the site to try to recover what they could, and the vandals were never found. If you hike up here, be careful at the base of the pictographs. There are petroglyphs from the more recent Fremont people all over the place. The west side of the Colorado River also has many Fremont area petroglyphs along the canyon wall at the bottom of the cliffs. I also swung by Faux Falls, a man-made waterfall created by water redirected out of the mountains into the Moab Valley for farming. Camp for the night was up in the La Salle Mountains up at Lake Warner. Besides a great view, the temperature was 20 to 30 degrees lower than down in the desert. On the way out of Moab, I headed east through Castle Valley on the way back to I-70. Castle Valley and the area upriver of Moab is the location of the vineyards for the area's local wineries. Be on the lookout for the grape vineyards, and if you're interested, some even have options for wine tastings. Upriver of Moab is Onion Creek, a great drive that leads up to the La Salle Mountains. The road crosses the creek 20 or 30 times along the trail. I'd really like to run the whole route again sometime soon. Last time I was up here was in my Xterra, but it was a great drive that starts out in desert red rock canyons, crosses upper flatland meadows and farms, and goes up into mountain alpine areas. Then you can drop back down through Sand Flats Road into Moab, all in a half day. Creek is also a great mountain bike and ATV trail, but be aware you need to stick to the road and its crossings. Don't drive up the creek the whole way. for camping in the area, Onion Creek has 35 campsites divided between two areas. Fisher Towers has 5 and Dewey Bridge has 7, but there is no dispersed camping allowed up until past Onion Creek and getting into the LaSalles. Further upriver, I stopped at Fisher Towers, a very famous rock climbing area of gigantic red rock towers. Pictures don't really do justice. These sandstone monoliths are as big as skyscrapers. On the way out, I stopped at Dewey Bridge, once one of the only 2 suspension bridges in Utah. It was restored in 2003 and burned down in 2008 by an unsupervised 7-year-old tourist playing with matches. Also on the highway back to I-70 is the ghost town of Cisco, used for filming Thelma and Louise, Vanishing Point, and mentioned in the Johnny Cash song Cisco Clifton's Filling Station. Last I swung by the ancient Pictographs in Thompson Canyon, done in the same barrier canyon style as the ones earlier in Courthouse Wash. Some historians report they date back to 1000 to 2000 BC. These were the same people that also painted the murals in the Horseshoe Canyon area of Canyonlands and in the San Rafael Swell. The canyon is also filled with the remains of the mining ghost town of Sego. The trip didn't turn out the way I'd planned, but it's such an amazing area there's always something to do. I was able to check off a few more things from my lifelong to-do list, and probably had just as much fun after the trail disaster as I would have had if I'd stayed in the maze. As always, thanks for watching.